Glad to be with you again today, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of making the institution of marriage a national imperative. You see, recently I heard someone talking again about global warming, and I thought to myself, gee, I wonder how important this issue really is, global warming. How many people have died of global warming? How many people have become ill of global warming, or as they call it now, climate change? How many have become impoverished? How many have become adversely affected in any way whatsoever? And as near as I can tell, the answer is zero. Yet, on the other hand, each and every day, 125 families in this nation are devastated by divorce. Every hour of every day, 100 children are forever changed in a way that causes them to function way below their potential. Many of them have developed fears and insecurities that researchers have termed as overwhelming. Families are plunged into poverty. Victims of divorce suffer higher rates of illness, both physical and psychological. Children of divorce as a class function on a lower level than those who grow up in secure homes. Our prisons are filled with young men who have never known the loving discipline of a father at home, and so they've opted for the discipline of our correctional systems. This isn't some theory to be debated. This is real life in America today. Yet, as a nation, we're pouring billions of dollars into the effects of divorce while totally neglecting the root cause, preserving marriage. It's like continually bailing water out of a sinking rowboat while we leave the hole in the bottom of the boat totally unattended. I mean, if you saw someone who is bailing water out of a sinking rowboat yet paying no attention to the hole in the bottom of the boat, you would no doubt think to yourself, how stupid. Well, I believe that's the situation in our nation today. So what if the water is warmer? The boat will still sink unless you give attention to plugging the hole. In fact, it's already sinking now. While we're debating the temperature of the water, the boat is still sinking. Remember the Titanic? In a sense, we're still arguing about positioning the deck chairs while the ship is going down. Yes, I know it's easier to talk about some esoteric theory like climate change than it is to address an immediate problem like the breakdown of marriage and family, but it's time that we came to our senses and started working to plug the hole in the boat by putting our money and our energy and our resources to restoring the institution of marriage to preserve the American family. We must change our national priorities. In 2007, according to the Department of Health and Human Services, almost $14 billion was sent to the states in TANF funds, temporary assistance for needy families. In New York State, my state, we received almost $3 billion, and that money was used to fund all kinds of after-school programs, single-parent programs, drug rehabilitation programs, all kinds of programs that are the aftermath of divorce. But yet, not a single red cent went toward the root cause, toward preserving healthy marriages. It wasn't until 2007 that we started to put money toward healthy marriages. You see, it seems like we're obsessed with bailing water instead of simply plugging the hole. Now, it just doesn't make sense unless, of course, you have a vested interest in bailing water. Some may have even started water bailing companies, in which case they need to keep the hole in the bottom of the boat open for them to stay in business. Now, this is precisely what is happening in our social services industries today, and precisely why big government cannot be looked to for the ultimate solution. The community of faith and the private sector must eventually step up to the plate, or our culture will continue to degenerate into social chaos. In the meantime, government does have a vital role to play, and that's why we're calling on legislators on every level of government to shift focus from bailing water to plugging the hole. In 2007, we finally got New York to put $125,000 to a healthy marriage program. And that's just a drop in the bucket, but the point is it's a start. And imagine just 1% of TANF funds would have meant $24 million in New York to go toward healthy marriages. Today, only 2 states, Utah and Oklahoma, are putting 1% of TANF funds toward healthy marriages, and they're enjoying tremendous results for their investment. A few other states are working toward that goal with the help of organizations like the Fatherhood and Marriage Leadership Initiative to put that money toward healthy marriages, but most states are still wasting taxpayers' money and human resources on bailing water instead of looking to plug the hole. The question is, do we continue to address the symptoms, or do we go for the cure? That's the real issue that we're addressing today. So we're calling on religious leaders who have been so far unfortunately ineffective in combating divorce in this nation. We're calling on them to start praying and fasting and taking action to influence public policy. It's time for the prophet to address the king, to speak truth to power, to bring the word of the Lord to the city gates concerning marriage and family. We're also calling on corporate America to start taking responsibility for the culture in which they prosper. A recent study by Life Innovations entitled Marriage and Family Wellness, Corporate America's Business indicates how healthy marriages actually helps the corporate bottom line. In other words, putting money into marriages actually makes good business sense. So in summary, we must all, the church, government, and corporate America, do our part to turn around a cultural mindset of easy acceptance of divorce to one of working to preserve the institution of marriage, to preserve the American family. Working together to restore these, we can make a difference. It must become a national imperative, or our posterity will pay the price for our inaction. Yes, we must address climate change, beginning in our immediate surroundings, in our own homes, in our own marriages, and in our families. We dare not wait any longer. We must plug the hole in the boat now, and we're calling on all to do our part to make this happen. And thank you.